Man's stunning discovery after 14 years of NDE exploration, a revolution for mankind. In the past, it seemed like we were headed for destruction, as predicted by various sources like Mother Shipton, Nostradamus, and the Bible's revelation. However, with help from advanced spiritual beings in heaven, we avoided this fate. Now, we're on a path to becoming a better society. Hi, I'm Danny, a board member of the Near-Death Institute. I've spent 16 years studying near-death experiences, NDEs, hearing about 12,200 of them. NDEs are like waking up from a dream. Souls come to Earth to learn and grow, just like how we enjoy different experiences through movies or books. One fascinating aspect of NDEs is the absence of judgment. Despite what some religions teach, every soul is welcomed back to heaven with unconditional love, regardless of how they lived on Earth. This love is indescribable and incredibly powerful. People often wonder why we come to Earth if heaven is so great. Souls choose to incarnate here to advance consciousness through contrast and challenges. For example, one NDE account involved a man who questioned why he suffered despite being a good Christian. In heaven, he learned that he chose his challenges before birth to grow more quickly, even though it meant experiencing pain. Out of the 1,200 stories I've heard, only a small number are about seeing the future. It's important to understand that when we talk about the future, it's just possibilities because humans have free will. In the past, it seemed like we were heading towards destroying ourselves, as predicted by Mother Shipton, Nostradamus, and the Bible's revelation. But thanks to help from above, including spiritual extraterrestrials, we avoided self-destruction. Now, we're on a path to becoming a better society. The speed at which this happens depends on humanity's free will. It looks like it might take about 50 more years before we have peace on Earth. There might be more wars and chaos before that happens, but in about 150 years, we'll have a new world where there's no war. And we all get along like a loving family. We'll live in harmony with each other and nature. We'll even learn to communicate with plants and animals, making them our allies and friends. Today, we often harm nature without realizing we're part of it. In the new world, society will focus on teaching children about God, love, science, and the beauty of nature. We'll have advanced technology, but we'll also recognize that biology is the best technology. We'll heal people through the power of thought, prayer, and intention. Cooperation will replace cutthroat competition, leading to a better world. For example, instead of companies like Apple and Samsung fighting each other, they could share technology and employees, making better products together. In the future, corporations and governments will be run by the people, with more cooperative businesses and structures like co-ops becoming common. This shift is already beginning, and it's the future we're moving towards. Sometimes there are big changes in how people think and act. Like in the 1960s, there were the original hippies who brought new ideas about love, nature, and peace. At first, society wasn't ready for these ideas, but over time, people accepted them. Now things like organic food and recycling are common, showing how society changes. Growing up and changing takes time, just like going from being a child to an adult. Cryan, channeled by Lee Carroll, talks about this change as slow, uncomfortable change. It might be tough, but individuals can create peace and happiness in their lives, even when things around them seem chaotic. In the future, religions might change, but they won't disappear. They'll evolve to match people's new understanding of spirituality. People will respect each other's beliefs and focus on what religions have in common, like love, kindness, and forgiveness. In the new world of love, religions will celebrate their differences while honoring the ways they connect with God. You know, there's a saying that magicians use when they perform tricks. Abracadabra. It's an old Aramaic word that means I will create as I speak. People who have had near-death experiences often say they didn't realize how powerful their thoughts and words are. If they had known, they would have focused on positive thoughts and words more. Our thoughts and words have a lot of power, and humans have the ability to create things just by intending them. This isn't magic, it's about quantum energy. When someone truly believes in something and feels that belief in their heart, the quantum field reacts, and things start happening to make it come true. It's like a conductor directing an orchestra. Our beliefs and intentions shape our reality. Quantum physicists have already noticed this. They know that their expectations affect the outcomes of experiments. Human intention can change reality. For example, scientists are working on zero-point energy, a clean and free energy source. But to make it work, it needs human intention. As we learn more about this, we'll discover how to use energy to heal others and communicate with our bodies. We'll be able to talk to our cells and direct them to heal in certain ways. Sound and frequencies will also play a role in healing. Scientists are already exploring how certain sounds can help treat diseases like Alzheimer's. In the future, traditional pharmaceutical medicine might be replaced by more natural and energy-based approaches. Instead of relying on chemicals, we'll use things like plant-based medicines and energy healing. This shift will bring back ancient wisdom about natural remedies and reduce our dependence on synthetic drugs. We're not going to be saved by passing the perfect set of laws or electing a good leader or pointing out the bad guys. As I've mentioned before, it comes down to one act of love and kindness at a time, and it causes this thing called the ripple effect. So, if I go out and I'm particularly mean to somebody, I put them in a bad mood, and they go out and they're mean to the people around them, and that puts them in a worse mood. Well, the opposite is true. You know, you do something kind for a stranger, even if it's something like passing by somebody and smiling and saying good morning, or holding the door open for somebody. Just something small like that, or helping out a stranded motorist, or helping your neighbor who's struggling, your elderly neighbor who's struggling to mow the lawn, and you go over and do that for them. Those little acts of kindness make us better, more loving people, and then it spreads out. Some near-death experiences have seen this to 35 iterations. Like, I do something nice to this guy, that's 1. He goes out and he's nicer to other people, that's 2. 35 times, the ripple effect is what's going to change the world. It'll be changed by one act of love at a time. Yeah, all right, so I'd like to wrap up by quoting something Mother Teresa said. You know, you don't have to do things like come on a program like this and talk. You don't have to write a book. You don't have to give a speech to a bunch of people or be on the radio or be on TV or become a politician to do great things. Mother Teresa said, we cannot all do great things, but we can do small things with great love. So, for those of you who want to get in touch with me, my email is at godmaclose.com. There's a 2-chapter preview of my book, and you can also just send me a question via email, and I'll answer it. At the time of this recording, I'm still answering all emails with an audio response, and there's also a link to my spiritual counseling.